Hi all, this is Madhumathi, uh, working in SNS College of Technology, Department of Food Technology, and so in this video, let's see about a topic on variation and speciation. So, what do you mean by variation? So, in the world of biology, variation is the most colorful palette that paints the diversity of life. But what's truly fascinating is how this diversity can lead to the birth of new species. That is a process known as speciation. Join us as we explore the interplay of variation and speciation, unraveling the secrets behind life's diversity and evolution of the new forms. So there are few types of variations like phenotypic variation, genotype versus the phenotype. So phenotypic variation is nothing but which pertains to observable differences in physical traits or characteristic among the individuals, and like it is the result of the combination of like genetic variation and environmental influences. Some of the examples of phenotypic traits like includes height, eye color, skin tone in the humans as well as the coat color in the animals, and like these comes under the phenotypic variation. Genotype versus phenotype is nothing but genotype will refer to an individual's genetic makeup which will include the specific alleles, and also like genotype or the phenotype on the other hand is the it is like physical expression of those genetic traits. While genetic variation is inherited, phenotypic variation can be influenced by the genetics, environment, or a combination of the both. And what are all the sources of these genetic variations? So the where from this variation of the genes will take place. So it first takes place from the process of mutations. Mutation is nothing but when there is a spontaneous changes that occur in the DNA sequence, and they are the main source of the new genetic variation. So genetic recombination is nothing but the genetic recombination will occur during the meiosis stage and the process of cell division that produce the sperm and the egg cells, that we call it as the gametes. Then crossing over is nothing but it is done to in order for the genetic recombination, it is a specific type that is followed. It will occur during the meiosis when homologous chromosomes exchange segments of the few DNA strands. And coming to the independent assortment. So independent assortment, it occurs during the meiosis when different pairs of chromosomes segregate independently of each other. This will lead to the inheritance of a unique combination of chromosome from the each parent, and it will result in random distribution of the maternal and both paternal chromosomes into the gametes one. Gene flow is nothing but it is otherwise known as the migration occurs when individual from one population join another or interbreed happens. It will introduce new alleles into a population, increasing genetic diversity. Gene flow can be important for maintaining the genetic variation within the species. So phenotypic variation we can see in detailed as we all seen in the definition. It is mainly to observe the differences in the physical traits of any individuals or within a population or species. So it is like essential for evolutionary process and adaptation. It will provide the raw material upon which natural selection will act, enabling populations to adapt to changing environments over time. Now, how there will be a change in the species. So how we can categorize with the types. So allopatric, sympatric, parapatric, and parapatric. So these are the three types how we can categorize the species. So allopatric speciation will occurs when population of a species become geographically isolated from each other. Sympatric means occurs when new species arise within the same geographical area without any physical isolation. It also involves development of some like distinct ecological niches or mating preferences between the same population. Parapatric is nothing but which occurs within the neighboring populations of any species, with that is within the limited gene flow, develop genetic differences and reproductive barriers. Now, the evidence for this speciation is fossil record, geographic distribution, genetic variation, and phylogenetics, and observation of the reproductive isolation. So, fossil record is nothing but this will give us the evidence of what type of species have been created through the observation of some transitional fossils. By the evidence of geographical distribution, we can get to know the biogeography, that is a study of species distribution, that often shows what type of patterns that speciation process has been occurred. Then isolated regions like islands or remote areas may also host unique species that are evolved in this isolation. Then genetic variation and phylogenetics will include the genetic studies including the DNA analysis. This will reveal patterns of genetic divergence among the different populations. Observance of reproductive isolation will give us a direct evidence of what type of species have if species changes have occurred, and also this will include the differences in mating behaviors, mating seasons, or even genetic incompatibilities. Thank you.